Welcome to lesson number 16. The numbering systems related lessons started with lesson number 14. The language courses just started with lesson number 1. So if you want to go through the entire course, please start with lesson 1. If you want only the numbering system related discussion, please start with lesson 14. Without doing 14 and 15, if you start 16, you may not be able to follow some of the concepts and ideas. In this lesson, we will cover the Japanese counting system. The Japanese counter system, hitotsu, futatsu, etc., with the suffix su, is the default counter. You will be discussing many other counters in the coming lessons. If you really get confused with what is the type of counter to be used with for a particular type of article, you can always resort to the hitotsu, futatsu system. I have given below the Japanese counting system. I will read out these numbers. I will actually read out the hitotsu futatsu form. The form given within parentheses hito hyphen futa hyphen etc. are supposed to be the numbers. You find yon against 4 and nana against 7. So those are the basic numbers against which you need to add the appropriate counter suffix and refer to a certain type of article. But since hitotsu, futatsu, mitsu, yotsu will be the more basic, frequently used kind of a system, I am expressing that in that form. Actually, this hitotsu, futatsu system is used both for questioning how many in terms of counting any kind of article. It's also used to ask how old, to inquire about age. Ikutsu is the word for it, to say how many or how old. Ikutsu will result in an answer which will be in the su form. Okay, so that's the idea. Now number 1 is hitotsu, number 2 is futatsu, number 3 is mitsu, number 4 is yotsu, number 5 is itsu, number 6 is mutsu, number 7 is nanatsu, number 8 is yatsu, number 9 is kokonotsu, and number 10 is do. After number 10, the system reverts to the Chinese system. 11 will be juichi, 12 will be juni, 15 will be jugo, 20 will be niuju, 30 will be sanju, so on and so forth. There is no change. Only up to 10 you have to use the Japanese system. Beyond 10, from 11 onwards, it will be back to the Chinese system. There is one other phrase you may get to know here. Mo hitotsu means one more. One is hitotsu. Mo hitotsu means one more. That's how this system is. Let's move to the counter for the number of people. Nin is the counter for people count. Non-nin means how many people. Hitori, 1 person. Futari, 2 persons. San-nin, 3 persons. Yonin, 4 persons. Gonin, 5. Rokunin, 6. Nananin, 7. It goes on like that. As you can notice, only hitori and futari seem to be derivatives of the Japanese counting system, whereas from san-nin onwards you have switched over to the Chinese system. We also use the suffix nin from 3 onwards. So that's how the counting of people goes. Let us now look at some more counters. The counter for packed boxes and cases is hako. When you use suffix hako after the Japanese number hito, futa, mi, yon, itsu, etc., you get hito hako, futa hako, mi hako, yo hako, itsu hako, and so on. This is the way boxes and cases are counted. There is another count which also follows the Japanese counting system. For sets of dishes or pairs of people, the counter kumi is used, hyphen kumi. hitokumi, futakumi, mi-kumi, yo-kumi, itsukumi, and so on. If you notice, compared to the counting of people, you seem to have more of the Japanese words used here for the counting. However, we should also remember that all these counts extend only up to 10, and beyond 10, the Japanese system of counting stops and the Chinese system of counting begins. Now let us look at some applications. In the beginning, I already said that the system of Hitotsu, Futatsu, and so on is a default counter and can be used for counting anything. In the next lesson, we will see many specific counters for special shapes, etc. They are all based on Chinese numbering system. But Hitotsu, Futatsu system is based on the Japanese numbering system. In this system, if you ask ikutsu, it will mean how many as far as objects are concerned. If you ask ikutsu in respect of people, then it would only mean how old. So, suppose you meet your Japanese guest or host and ask this question, ikutsu, and they would say, let's say the child is 2 years old, they would say the child is 2 years old. In Kodamoga Futatsu desu. If you wanted to know how many children he has got, should I used non-nin. Okay? Non-nin would have got you the response, Kodamoga Futari desu. If he had 2 children. If he had 3 children, you would have said Kodamoga san-nin desu. Okay? So, you must make this differentiation that ikutsu in respect of people can only be age, and if you want to know the number, you should ask non-nin. That brings me to the end of yet another lesson, the lesson number 16. If you want to go through the entire thing, you can always go to my YouTube channel, Avid Reader 100, and subscribe. You can view from the lesson 1 onwards. The numbering system started in lesson 14. If you subscribe, the advantage will be that you can receive alerts on new posts from me. I hope you are enjoying your lessons. Gambatta Kudasai. Deva Mata.